Three, two, one. It looks like we're on air. Hello. There we go. Good morning, people. Hey, Jim. G'day, David. Good to have you along. Saturday morning. We're almost back to square one. Look, he's happy. Look, he's happy. Look at him. He's happy.
I'm human.
He's looking
I feel human.
He's human again.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has been a while. But he's back playing again. That's the main thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Playing the games. Got to get you into Grounded. That's the next one we're going to play. Well, we'll still be playing this one, but we're going to play Grounded.
No, well, I showed you that other one,
Yeah, I know,
the Japanese one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we might have to do the Japanese one as well because you have a Japanese thing. Yeah, you get the Japanese bug.
Yeah.
He loves little Thai girls, but he loves the Japanese girls better.
Oh yeah. Sugoi desu, sugoi desu. Kirai desu.
So what's everybody been doing last week, eh? We've got a strange country here in Thailand with a weird government that people didn't elect.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not even going to venture into that. Like, let me put it this way: I don't even understand Australian politics, let alone Thai politics.
Oh yeah, but I just look at the nature of the universe we live, or this small pocket of null space we live in. It's just the crazy shit we're going to deal with. Turning your music down, are you? Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I can't hear.
You can't hear. We can't hear his music. I'm not listening to his music. I can listen to his music, I suppose. Yeah,
No, I shared screen, not at.
Yeah, you shared screen. Okay. All good. Anyway, so what was I was going down a rabbit hole then. Yeah, so the weird governmental policies around the world and everything else like that. Australia trying to rape everybody that wants to leave Australia. That was news from about 3 months ago. The taxation departments are saying anybody working outside Australia has to pay full tax no matter where they are in the world. That's it. Even though if you're paying tax everywhere else in the world, you're still going to pay it again when you come back to Australia. What? Yeah, every country's broke. But, and again, we've got democracy, that's where, you ask the people who they want to vote for and oh no, sorry, we can't have that. Doesn't work with our plan, G'day, Chris, how you doing? Yes, we'll see what happens. Like I don't see anything really changing too much in the way Thailand runs. I think a little bit of confidence will be lost in the market. The market actually peaked when there was actually a climb there. So the Thai market, what they call it, the SEC, not SEC, it's something or other else. But anyway, the Thai exchange or market exchange or whatever they call the damn thing, that actually sort of went up when Tuscan arrived in the country. I don't know if you sort of saw that. There was actually quite a climb, over a 2 or 3 point climb, or on their all ordinaries or something. Now that he's in hospital and everything else, and the government's all not going. SET, that's the one. Thank you, Robert.
Morning, Mayor Groves.
But I'd have to go and look at the market now to see what's doing with the formation of the government, because I'm pretty sure it's going to have a negative effect. But again, the powers at those stratospheres that breathe a different level of oxygen than we do, I'm pretty sure they aren't making the right decisions for the planet. They're only making the right decisions for themselves. But hey, isn't that where the universe goes? All for one and one for all. Bullshit. All for me. All for me. We've got a new government. We've got weird shit happening in Australia. We've got the place is falling apart. It really is. The heat waves, like Canada is burning. Canada's burning at this time of the year now. Like seriously, that was permafrost. Never burned.
Oh, it does occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally, but
Well, Hawaii had a pretty big fire not that long ago.
I'm going to start referring to it from that most recent series. I'm going to call it the jackpot, because it's not one thing that's going to do it. It's everything all at once is going to happen. That's the thing. It's just, you're going to have Ukraine blowing up into a major catastrophe. You're going to have India upsetting China because they're going to overtake them in the global fucking, build shit fucking market.
Yeah.
You're going to have China, 2.2 million people died through their COVID thing. The people of China are going to, have an issue. Then, of course, America is going to blacklist China, trade it completely. There's the PR. What's the new formation government? Russia. Was it? There's an acronym. Russia, South Africa, China. There's 5 in the group. This is like the new the opposition to NATO.
Oh yeah. South Africa, China, Russia, and there's 2 more. I can't remember.
Well, anyway, they're forming this new pact, right? And an indirect competition to the global market. What else you got going on? You got a space race. How long before we see weapons in space? If they're not already there.
Weapons in space.
Except for the price to actually raise those titanium rods, per ton. They were a bit expensive to get up in the air, but rods from God, that's been bandied around again recently. Non-nuclear deterrence. The whole place is going to pot, mate. It really is. It's all going to happen at once. It's going to be the jackpot. Let's not go down the virulent disease path. What have we got going on? We've got 3 times as many people in Thailand catching the flu this year.
Yeah, I don't feel like an orphan anymore. I really don't. After you sent me that news story, it's like I'm a frang and I'm not adapting, and the next thing you know, I've got 899,999 brothers and sisters who are sick as well. I'm going, yes.
And that's it, yes, Chris. And of course, India landed on the moon. Who would have expected India to land on the moon? Oh, seriously. That's been a sleeping dog, hasn't it? Just like they've been shooting stuff up into the sky, and all of a sudden you're sitting there glued to YouTube watching this, CGI of a spaceship landing on the moon, but then seeing the real footage of the actual camera, and you're going, "Good on you guys, good on you." I love that idea, Of course, I've been watching that series called For All Mankind. I just finished season 2. So I'm a little bit up from that, because that's a really good. I don't know. Should we talk about TV? I don't know. I'm going to keep it light today. Keep it light. We've had this sort of the world is going to blow up. The only thing left for us to do is just have fun. Sorry, the nicer of bad news. But yes, so I was watching For All Mankind. Not really. I watched it when it first came. Watched the first 2 seasons when it first came out, but then the season 3, I'd actually grabbed season 3, but never watched it. Because something else came up. There's always another shiny object. Because season 2 pretty much did finish, in 1995 or whatever it was. I think it was, and they just solved their equivalent of the missile crisis or whatever, the standoff with 3 different angles, and if you don't know the thing, it's a great series called For All Mankind. But season 3, I started watching season 3 and I have no idea where the story is, so I went back to season 2, the end story, started watching that last episode in season 2, and I'm going, I don't remember this. So I went to season 2, episode 1. Well, I don't remember watching this. So I went back to the beginning and watched the whole thing again. Yeah. It was done in a Bollywood. I thought it was brilliant. It was so Bollywood. It was. I can't believe how much they shout at the camera as well. Really? you're so used to watching NASA's, level pegging and everything else, the way they present, this is the professional way. And then you go and see India's version. A cross between Firefly and sort of, and Faulty Towers, wasn't it? I don't know.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched it. I just saw the news story.
Yeah. This is hilarious. Even in the lineups, Indian tourists at Swampy, the big screen TV. Yeah, I know it was crazy shit. But yeah, good on them. I think that we need more than Russia and America. We need someone to guide the way. Because India doesn't have an issue with anybody, really, do they? They're not getting up. They're not getting in people's faces.
No, I don't think they did say Bombay, we have a problem.
Did they? I don't know. I can't remember.
No. Mayor Groves being Mayor Groves.
Bombay, we have a problem. I don't know. What is this space launch center? I don't know. Okay. I've not been paying much attention. I'd have to pay a bit more attention to what's going on in India. How long before they actually put boots on the moon?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you not know? But it's always sort of been plaguing the back of my mind. It's that radiation ring around the world that even if you're exposed to it for like 0.2 of a second, you're cooked inside a microwave.
Well,
something belt. I can't remember what it's called. It's floating in the back of my mind. I'm not a scientist.
The Van Halen belt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. The guys from the 1960s and 70s didn't really suffer too much from radiation exposure. They had normal length of lives. Of course, the naysayers will say it was all done in the studio, but they're still alive, apart from the ones that actually died of natural causes, of course.
Yeah. Oh no, we're going down a rabbit hole.
Oh no, yeah.
No, we're not going down that rabbit hole, Chris.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, so what they don't realise with the level of CGI and everything else and studio productions, it was actually cheaper for them to send them to the moon than actually make the fucking a fake video. And that's the reality of it, and that's why I just laugh when people say it. It's always done for the lowest cost, right? Challenger, O-rings. Yeah, guess why that blew up? Because that fucking O-ring was cheaper. We send people into fucking outer space on top of a fucking 100,000 fucking tons of fucking high fucking explosive and say yes.
Yeah.
100,000, probably 100. I don't know how much fuel's in those things. 100 tons, 50 tons.
I don't know.
I don't care. I'm going to have to get our Kerbal Space Program and start looking at the mechanics behind space.
You were telling me you wanted something unique to do for the next 6 months. Build yourself a space rocket.
Space rocket. Well, I can't. We're talking about it on a Gen stream, and we're talking about the proliferation. How many fucking rockets has Musk flown this year? 32 or 33?
Mm-hmm.
They're just fucking going up fucking weekly now, and there's this company in England is actually about to launch the first 3D printed space rocket. It's not the size of what do you call it, the Musk ships, but it's like about 3 meter diameter or something like that. But it's a full 3D. The whole, I think 90% of the ship. Well, no, it did fly. Sorry, it flew last year. The one that they're building now is 100% built, apart from the wires and everything else. 3D printed, right? If the mechanics, if this proves successful. Right, it opens up a whole new industry for fucking shooting shit up into space.
First thing that popped into my head is, anyone visit the Titanic lately?
The which one?
Did anyone try and visit the Titanic lately?
Yeah,
that was home built.
Yeah, well, but 3D printed. But this company did launch something last year, which was 90% 3D printed. So, the concept is there. Once it's upscaled and manufactured, once the whole 3D printing of this particular alloy is perfected and they get full-size robotics building it, they will be building, just stack them, rack them and stack them, and they could be launching them daily.
Powered by Tesla.
No, well, it's got nothing to do with Tesla. But it was, I haven't been really paying much attention because all we see is Musk, and the failures of NASA. It's like Musk versus NASA. And Bezos, he's just a joke. Mind you, Bezos is the one I'd like to see actually sort of do something significant. He's the one that's got the right idea. Once you get out of a gravity well, that's it. You don't want to go back in one. Right? Learn to live out of a gravity well. Anyway, Shan. G'day, Shan. How you doing? Buy your own rocket on Lazada. I'm sure we could get something on Lazada. Yes, no problem.
Having said that, I had an issue with my MacBook Pro, and I actually got my replacement battery on Lazada, and it was a genuine Apple replacement battery.
Oh, good.
So it took me a week and a half, something that normally take me 2 hours to do, but it's finally done. So yes, you can get some good things on Lazada.
But did you find those documents you were looking for?
Not yet. Well, let me.
Cloud. You got to get it on the cloud.
No, I've got these.
Yeah,
I thought it was on my iMac backup, but it's not. And I've been going through these to try and find some documents, and I can't find them yet. So.
Yes, I know. It's a challenge, but it's all right. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so it's been a fun week. News-wise, there's nothing really serious apart from a weird government. But I've been looking at some other ideas, like YouTube seems to be behaving differently again. The last couple of videos have come out. They've doubled in their viewership in that period of time, and getting good, what they call click CTR rates and things like that. I'm going, what, they've polished their AI again, or did my videos get better? I don't know.
Mixture of both.
You think? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm getting to that point. I just don't know what to talk about because, in my mind, I've talked about that before. Like even as 5 years ago, I've talked about it before. Do I need to talk about it again? But that's the thing. It's just that it's another process I've got to reprogram because you've got to realise the fact that your audience cycles and finds other things to do. And then if you don't interact or engage with a particular program on YouTube, people are subscribed to 50 different channels. You only get told about probably, the top 5 that you're watching. The bottom 5 that you aren't watching, you're subscribed to, you never hear about them. Because I really don't spend my time on my YouTube page looking at my subscriptions because, when I'm looking for something, I find that and I go, oh yeah, that's what I want to find out. I go on looking for that. Then I'll go down the rabbit hole and I don't really go for what's presented by YouTube to me, but that's because I'm not in their program properly, if you know what I mean. Mike Herbert, g'day, how you doing? Excuse me, g'day.
Sawadee ka, Pat.
He wants to follow up on that warehouse video. Yes, I've been planning to get back in there to do that. If the weather's not too hot next Friday, I might see if Jerry wants to come and visit with me. So we'll do our morning tea. We'll go to the place up north, spend an hour there, look at the video again, look at the place again, and cut it up. Who we got? We got Pat Ties in the house. So names we haven't seen. I don't know whether they're tweaking the system again. Because you get people just popping up the woodwork. I've had comments recently of people that, haven't been watching the channel for years that have all suddenly found it again, or they've suddenly sort of seen videos from me again. And that's how it really works. Bizarre. Of course, the other thing is, I'm only sort of really focusing on one video a week. If you want to grow a channel, you've got to do at least 3 videos a week, 4 videos a week. Any more than 4, I think it gets too much for people. But I think Jen's got to I keep on referring to Jen because that's I've been analysing the Twitch platform and all that sort of game streaming stuff. Trying to get my head around what sort of personality you really need to drive that sort of engagement for 4 hours with 60 people, 60 to 70 or 80 people watching your stream. I have trouble keeping up with the 10 to 15 people we watch here, watching, like looking back and. Selling our condo with capital. Was it? I've got this little heart thing that they put on your little window.
Capital tax free.
Tax free. Selling our condo with capital.
Well, if you own it and have lived in it, you are capital gains tax free. So.
Oh, okay.
If it's an investment property, you get. I mean. Yeah.
Oh, if you haven't made money from it through the rental process, then you don't.
I don't know whether they've changed it. I checked.
I thought only the first property only your first property in Australia was.
No, you have to have lived in it 12 months continuously without a rental income.
Yeah, because they asked questions about my house because I bought my house off my father, right? And they did query my ownership status to be capital gains exempt, right, for the taxation. But they did query the fact that this house was rented twice, which is when my father rented it.
Yeah.
So he rented it out. He paid his capital gain. I don't think they had that much capital gains back then when he did the rentals. That was 1970s, early 70s or mid 70s and late 70s. But yeah, so he'd had rented, but it did flag something in their system, that they wanted a clarification of the fact that I hadn't rented it. Which I had to write another affidavit or some sort of statutory declaration when I sold. But yeah.
To clarify, Pat, your residential home is tax free if you sell that, but there are stipulations, and it's been years since I looked at it because of my investment properties. But you've had to have lived in it for a minimum period of time without any. What's the additional dwellers? So that's the capital gains tax. So
I'm sure they'll bring something else in on top of that to make it. Yeah. It's ridiculous what's going on now. We are over-taxed and underrepresented. But that's the case everywhere.
Yeah.
How do you control 7.5 billion people on a planet? Like if you were to actually build an Ark ship in space to explore the universe, you'd need at least 100 people on board with varying skills and provision for population growth, right? Because you're going to be slow boating from this star to the next star to the next star, and it's a generational ship, How do you control 100 people, let alone 7.5 billion people on this spaceship Earth that's travelling around in the centre of a fucking massive black hole and takes 26 million years? We are in a spaceship. How about we just fucking treat it like a spaceship for a change?
Yeah, I don't really want to follow it up, guys. Sean and Robert, I am not an expert in tax. I just remember what I researched, and there are stipulations in regards to you've had to be in that property for a certain period of time. Whether it's changed since you guys did your thing. I mean, 2016, what's that? Ooh, that's 7 years ago. A lot has changed in regards to real estate in Australia in 7 years, mate.
Yeah.
Trust me, I have looked into it. I do have time in my hand between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. when Wazza gets online to do research, and that's when I normally do it. As soon as I wake up, the poor old brain goes, "Oh, we need to solve the problems of the world." See, if I was a doctor or a scientist or whatever, I probably could have got the cure for cancer or something with the time I've done with research and everything. Yeah, 6 years living in it, Pat. I mean, I'm pretty sure from memory it's 12 months. You have to continuously be in it for 12 months to be considered your place of residence.
Yeah. Mm.
But don't quote me on it.
But it's all about the money game. Where does the money
Yeah.
come from? You know, there's a lot of people out there want to sit on their ass and do fuck all. Who am I talking? I'm fucking almost looking at myself then, aren't I? Just want to sit on my
But
ass and do nothing.
You've done the work
But
previously.
that doesn't
You
seem it
preempted.
doesn't matter anymore.
I know.
You know, I'd done the work. You know, I've done the work. I'd put in the hard yards. You know, I had 37 years of continuous employment. Oh,
Yeah.
I think I had 2 weeks I was on the dole when I was, because I could, because I was changing jobs and I had 4 weeks to wait it out. And so technically I could go and get a fucking dole for 2 weeks. Well, the government's going to give you some money, I'll have it.
Yeah, I was unemployed for 4 weeks
Yeah.
and never went on the dole. Never put my hand out, everything like that. Had money saved.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, I had money saved, but they were giving it away, so I said, fuck it.
yeah.
Everybody else is doing it, so I might as well fucking do it as well. Where's mine?
That was just my mindset at the time. No, I'm able-bodied. I'm able to work. It's just circumstances. I got 4 weeks before my next job, so I can get by for 4 weeks. So
Yeah.
yeah,
For
that's
sure,
fine.
no money to pay loans. Well, the whole idea is there should only be one loan you have, and that's your mortgage, and everything else should be paid with cash. Stop living with the fun and then paying for it later. Property's okay, it's an asset. Only borrow money at a positive value, positive repayment value if it's an asset. If it's not an asset, don't bother with it. That hi-fi stereo system is not an asset. That car is not an asset. You know, that Rolls Royce might be an asset. That Lamborghini might be an asset, but that fucking Honda Civic at the back, it's not an asset. That's a liability. Got to get it right, guys. Don't pay money for it. Don't pay interest for it. Pay cash.
Yeah, that was my thought, Mick. Yeah, the paperwork and having to deal with the government department for 4 weeks. Yeah, it was a pros and cons. One thing I was taught as a young guy by my late grandfather is always do a SWOT. And if you've never heard of a SWOT, look it up.
I forgot the acronym.
That's strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, threats.
Mm.
And you just write down a list, you put it in the 4 quarters, and whatever quadrant comes up with the most is the high probability of that occurring. So
Yep. And of course, Pat also highlights, and she's not saying it, but she's saying it, right? Here's me going to school in the 70s, like I was doing, like I was at Fort Street. I did, English, I did 3 languages, I did geography, I did history, I did chemistry, and I did finance. Does finance even get taught in schools anymore?
economics, no. Economics is an elective.
But when does it start teaching you?
High school. That's
But
when.
when? Like, we're third year now, because I know they had that broken system in Australia where it's,
I don't know,
you're
but it's an
forced
elective.
you're forced to take the first 2 years. I don't know. This could be all now because this is the first 2 years on standard public school system was the fact the first 2 years of secondary school were forced electives to give you the chance to choose what you wanted to master or excel in. So
Yeah.
you do you do sort of English, you do small sections of chemistry, geography, and physics, and then you might take one of those 3 in your 3rd and 4th year. And the other thing I was thinking of, another subject I really did was industrial art. That's another
Yeah.
one, and I remember that was 4th year. I can't remember. It was just before I was leaving to go to Thailand. And I can't remember now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly, Mick. They don't want you to understand finance and how. The best one you can ever learn is compound interest.
Mm.
Seriously, it is a simple process, but if you just look into how compound interest works, it could probably turn your life around.
Yeah.
Seriously.
If you can get it to work for you, that is.
Yeah.
But yes, year 9 you can pick your subjects. Okay, so it's 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. So yeah, but in 4th Street, you were actually given the full gamut right from the start. Well, that was 72, of course, but they may have changed the curriculum there as well because they did integrate the girls and the boys' schools over that period of time. So,
Well, Kimbo, my little brother, who jumps on every now and again, works at a school, and he'd be perfect to answer these questions because that's his knowledge and understanding. So,
like I said, I think it's one of these things you get to this sort of thinking process at this, like, as I'm at this 7 year point in my life here in Thailand, and as we know, life is 7 year cyclic. So, well, I don't know, it has been for me, you know. Even if I look at my past employment, the first 7 years there, it was establishing yourself as the god of the industry, and then basically for the other 7 years I was there, I was God until America decided the fact that somebody else wanted to be God and I could be bothered playing the game. But it's always one of those sort of things, isn't it?
yeah.
Well, I have a degree in business at the UTS. Okay, yeah. My daughter has a degree in psychology, I believe. She never really showed me that. I know she graduated, but I've never actually looked at the papers what she graduated in. You're just happy that she graduated. Such is life. That's how to control people. Yes. Just with your application for domestic trolley dolly as getting old? Trolley dolly. I'm not. What's she talking about?
What's she talking about with this? Yeah, degree in common sense. Wasn't I having a discussion about that? Was it yesterday or it was yesterday when you were having air conditioning problems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Degree in common sense.
Well, that's probably the only degree I really could qualify for because I always look back at my life, and I go on, what formal qualifications do I have? Fitter and turner. I think it's fitter machinist, fitter turner, I can't remember what they call it now. It's a little red. I don't have it. I have to go and ask for it to be printed again. But did it? Been there, done that, experienced that experience, and really, yep, okay. Sort of, I knew what I was doing before I went there because I had my own lathe and mill and the fucking garage at home, and we were building model railway fucking shit. And, so I was doing engineering as a hobby. It just seemed to make sense that that's what you do. But 4 years later, apart from the fact that I learnt all the computers in that 4 years, I really could never see myself going back and doing industry in that area. It's filthy, grubby, noisy, you're standing around most of the day. Airlines recalling flight attendant who took the VRK because the big C returning to work. Okay, so you got a degree. Okay, so I follow. So you got a degree in business, and all you end up doing is pushing trolleys up an aeroplane aisle. Yeah, okay. It is. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? But some people actually enjoy doing that. Yeah. I have to sort of say, I look at my life now. I'm more inclined to find things to do that involve other people. Doing things together. Whereas, I have been pretty much a lone wolf, for most of my life, doing the things my way. I'm now trying to sort of, blend my particular uniqueness with the mainstream of what people are like, just sort of, trying to understand and fit in more to what people are going through because, the world is changing everywhere you go. And I got to get back in my Thai lessons. Geez, I've been slack. I really have. But that's life.
Yeah, I'm at a crossroads. I've got to do both now because I've got in contact with an old mate of mine in Japan, and he's fluent in Japanese. So he sent me an email in Japanese, in katakana, in hiragana, and I'm going, I used to be able to read this. I can't read it anymore. And then I look at a Thai bank receipt, and I can read that, and I'm going, okay, the brain's done a complete 180, and So it's just like, what do I do now? Because now I'm frustrated. You know how my brain works. I'm gone, but I used to remember how to do that. Why can't I do that anymore?
I,
Uh,
I, I got a friend of mine in Australia from Victoria who posts all this scientific stuff. And there's one there. I've started fucking looking at fucking integral calculus again. I'm going, holy shit! Why is my brain going down that tangent? Why do you?
uh,
I never liked calculus. So it just, you know.
Patsan, Genki desu ka? Ajimashite.
Oh, you're talking Japanese now, okay, right?
Oh, well, Pat just sent me something in Japanese, so
I see that. Yes.
so my brain's going, okay, I'm feeling better now. I've actually done some housework. I've done some study in flying. I've gotten back into the gaming. What do I do next? Okay, like you was, I got to get back into my Thai lessons because I've got another semester coming up. And do I enroll in that, or do I just sort of have a break from that, relearn Japanese for a little bit so I can start to converse with my mate again? And it's sort of like,
Mm,
poor brain, poor brain. But at least now it's in a better state than what it has been for the last 3 weeks.
yes, yes. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of something to get, like I'm trying to find something to do new that has a positive impact on people. Uh, I got stuck in a conversation this week with another friend of mine in Australia. He's just started a new, he's 38 years old, so he's just started a new business venture. And I think I started my computer business when I was 35 or something, So it's that people do that around that age, that mid 30s. That's it. I'm going to fucking start my own business. But just he's just telling me his dramas he's going through setting that up, and it's like my wheels are going, and yeah, I've been there, done that. Do I want to do it again? Which is that motivation video that came out this week. Another video that people seem interested. Again, it has an edge of confrontation in it. The fear factors and things like that that drive people's you know you know reason for being.
Well, it's dopamine. When you have a high level of emotional experience, whether it be fear or
Mm.
anxiety, your brain produces what is it, the endorphins? I think that's the one,
Mm.
and that sort of makes you feel enlightened.
Mm.
Um, Sort of like I had something and I got through it. Like if you go through a haunted house, that's why people love haunted houses so much. It gives you that scare tactic, and when you come out the exit door, you go to yourself, "Oh, I've done that," and
Mm.
it's just the elation feeling.
Mm.
So uh, that's the drug I've got to try and get more of.
Mm. But I had a few people sort of saying, things that they've done, to, in their senior years to get themselves motivated, but like dancing. Yeah, well, dancing requires two to tango, and I'd have to get Shana involved with that because this is Thailand. I couldn't be dancing with some other girl. That would be just totally inappropriate. This is Thailand, So, but I did jazz ballet. I did what do you call it, salsa, two dance styles, and I quite enjoyed those when I was doing them. It was quite, there's a lot of camaraderie because you're doing it something together and you're just getting better together. But would I go back and do dancing again? Well, I can't really dance with my arthritis, but that seems to be just abating as to the inconvenience lately. I don't know why that is. Change in diet. Also, I'm not carrying an extra 15 kilos. That helps. Can't imagine why people carry around an extra 15 kilos every day of the week, every day of the year. Come on. Um,
Yeah.
Even I did it. Been there, done that. Don't want to do it again. I'm a little bit more careful now. But that's it. That's what you do. You get older. You start, and there is this level of being careful that seems to, you're just more careful about what you want to do, because you're just not as gung ho as what you were before. Anyway, He might only refuse my mum and dad stop my shop run out of beer. There's always or more mum and dad shops who can sell beer. Just have to
Yeah.
you might have to walk another 100 yards for that. This is Thailand.
Yeah, I've visited the Ma and Pa store near Mayor Groves, and I don't think they'd ever run out.
Pat's
I don't.
tie's hitting on me. Keep it in there. Just keep it down. Keep it down. Just calm down, Pat. Calm down, Pat. You did promise you were going to be my camera woman. Come on. We're going to go out and do some shooting. She didn't want to be on camera, you see.
Uh,
So, well, you can be my camera woman. You can shoot me. Rode have got a new mini dual microphone system.
okay.
Well, it's probably about 13,000 baht like their old one, but it's more mini.
Lapel type system.
It's a more, it's a labial type microphone, but it's still a square box, so they can get their little advertisement Rode. But like the old ones were about maybe 2 inches square. And they were 50 centimeters, 50 millimeters square. So, fucking yeah, size, double size your knuckle. I'm trying to think of American measurements.
Well, double your knuckle. What's that? 1 inch, 1.5 inches.
Yeah, but it used to be quite bulky, and but now these things are about 1 inch square, so they're really nice and compact. I don't know. I mean, thinking about that sort of type of, I've done it, but the systems I had, my Seraphonic broke, and that was clumsy. It was a clumsy system too. It really just seemed to be not exactly where I wanted it to be compared to what I've seen with Rode. But to spend another 13,000 baht on a new microphone system, and then not know whether it works with my camera—that's the biggest clue. The thing is, that's when I bought the Seraphonic, because there was actually a review that equipment with the Sony, so I knew it worked.
Oh, I'm sure Rhodes is pretty universal with what it can be used for.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no system here where you can send it back to them and get your money back here.
No, no. You can't try before you buy.
Yes. That's all I need. Just take it in the box, power it up. I want to just put it in my camera. I'm going to take a 5-10 second video with it, right? And I'm going to go home, check that video, and come back and buy it tomorrow. No, you can't do that because I can't actually play it on the camera. So that's life.
Isn't there a Rhodes store in Siam Central? I'm pretty sure there is. I'll have to recheck because I had to look up for my Bose. Because I've got Bose noise cancelling, and the head cushioning's deteriorated. So I've got to look at trying to get that replaced.
So we got going special fish. No farang at Lat Brau. Love to catch up, but those taxi mafia turn me off. Well, you only get the taxi mafia only occupy Sukhumvit from 4 to 23. The taxi mafia doesn't really exist anywhere else these days. It's only just around the entertainment zones. But even there, if you only got to, it's like you've only got to walk 50 yards and you can avoid it. When we were there last week, was it last week? Last Saturday? Yeah, we were out there last Saturday. Finished there at 2 o'clock in the morning. Walked out of where we were, rather than get the taxis there, I just walked, round the corner by 50 yards on the other side and flagged the taxi down, and very chatty, straight home, or not straight home, he took the long way, but, didn't even query the taxi meter or anything else. We had a good chat, it was fun. We never talk about the fun ones, we always talk about the mafia, but, the mafia only really occupies that area, and everywhere else you go, 50% of the time the taxi drivers are only too happy to chat with you and practice their English, and you can practice a bit of your Thai with them. I remember one of my friends that I'd met down in Nong Kem there, who's another American, used to sort of say that's how he learnt Thai, was taking taxis everywhere. And just getting out of your comfort zone and just start a conversation. And that's the best way to learn Thai. You know, but yeah, hey, I've just never really felt confident enough when I tie to really start a conversation randomly, because I don't talk about random shit. I talk about stuff that's sort of important to me. Which usually doesn't might ring anybody else's bells. You don't have a conversation when it's one-sided. Around Central, they are picky, are they? Central Siam, Central Siam, Siam, yeah. I think it's just that whole Sukhumvit area that just seem to.
And Dhamma One.
Yeah, I've never been. I haven't been there for so many years.
Yeah.
We've got to do it. We've got to go and do that orange monorail line. Been looking into that more. I believe the landscape of the Thailand's risen railway system is all going to be monorail from the future, because it costs like a third the cost to actually put that up as I've to put the track versions up. Mind you, somebody said they are really, really noisy. I remember the one in Sydney, that pretend monorail we had in Sydney, that was quite lumpy and bumpy. Mind you, that was 90s, wasn't it? Technology hadn't improved really greatly then, but I would have thought they would have got rid of some of the problems, unless of course they're designed in such a way that they're actually going to remove the rubber wheels and go some sort of maglev when refit the rail system and put maglev in it. Maybe that's their thinking. Yeah, who knows? Maglev is the way to go, of course. Power consumption wise, if we can actually solve a couple of little hurdles.
Mayor Groves would be the expert on which would be the better system.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Frank 47. Yeah, this is one of the lads I was talking about. He somehow just YouTube stopped recommending videos, and he sort of popped in this week and said, "Haven't seen your videos for such a long time. Good to see you back." And I haven't gone anywhere. It's just YouTube just no longer presented them to you.
To answer David's question about Hoi An, no, I could not find a taxi at all when I was in Hoi An. Mayor Groves is the man, but I did see some local bike taxis, bike riders with the orange shirts, but only saw 3 the entire time I was there. But yeah, Hoi An's an interesting area. It is a country area, and that's what I liked about it. And I don't mind walking. Mind walking, and I get strange looks wherever I go, because I'm happy to walk 4 or 5 Ks to go see something, do something.
I remember we'd done a couple of trips down to Hoi An for the bridge and a couple other things we did down there. And one of Shanya's friends actually got she's got a second house down west of west of that area. We've stayed there once. It's on the river. I'm not quite sure exactly where the river area is. I know I've flagged it on my map. But yeah, so we've only been down there 3 or 4 times. It's a nice place to visit. I didn't really have any problems sort of seeing taxis. Mind you, I wasn't really looking for taxis because we had a car. But they seem to be just as prolific, in that area as where I did live. But
well, the issue was that I was catching up with Mayor Groves and having some yellow Thai water, and I had to be careful because the only way I could get back to the hotel I was staying at was in a rented scooter. So
yeah. Boss it over. G'day, boss. Did you guys organise a retirement visa? Yeah, mine is an OA that was issued in Australia, where they use your Australian bank accounts as verification for the funds and so on and so forth. And then you get the OA status. Now you've got to add the health insurance as part of it, and you've got to know which flight you're taking before you actually get your visa, which is a bit strange.
Yeah.
How do you know what flight you're going to be on before they issue a visa? What if your visa's can't be issued and you have to cancel your flight and rebook and everything else?
I didn't have to book a flight. I booked my flights after I got the visa.
If somebody said that you got to in the visa application, it's got specifically now asked for the flight number you're going to be flying out on, and they were challenged with that. Well, I don't get involved much in this stuff, so I really couldn't answer that question. Yeah, because they didn't have that on the form when I came out, but
No.
it's a bit weird. But yeah, maybe it's just something that somebody better than me can answer that question. It's a specific that I couldn't answer. But yeah, that was it. Got the visa in Australia. Mind you, if we came over here on a tourist visa and transferred the money into a Thai bank account, and there's a highly big likelihood you could have got the O retirement visa here in Thailand. I didn't even know that was a situation, but for me to go from an OA to a O, I've actually got to bounce into the country and come back in again on a tourist visa and go through the whole process again, which really just seems like I've got no problem with the OA apart from the health insurance, and I don't mind having the health insurance now since they lowered the price and seems to have the right sort of coverage for those incidentals. Seems to make sense for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay, you can leave that section blank. Okay, right. No, I never even thought about the fact that, they would approve it with a blank, a blank slot. Okay. Look for flight attendants, GF, before they can change the flights. So I got this, I don't know why they put this little fucking heart on it. Before they can change any flight. Look for flight attendants, GF, BF.
Girlfriend, boyfriend, they can change any flights any day.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm just not up to all the shorthand anymore. And I know I probably talk shorthand sometime, but that's because I've got 1,000 things going on in my brain at the moment. I have to also admit the only hereditary problem we have genetically here is aneurysms in my lineage on my mother's side, and I pretty much got a lot of my mother's genes in her. Yeah, and aneurysms. What, that really? You're thinking too hard? Burst the brain vessel. Now I'm starting to see why it might be hereditary. I can't get rid of that heart. Yeah, I know, it's a pain in the ass. I don't know why they put it there, because it always stops the last few characters, especially when people abbreviate. You can try to guess the word. What gets me is the fact that they've now put that freaking heart in Streamlabs desktop, so I can't look at the second screen to say, hey, what did he just say?
I must have my things set up differently because,
Well, quickly just say, if I could just do that. There's the software. Sorry for the picture. They got the fucking heart here too as well, so I can heart things. But then of course it says open it. Why put the heart on the application if you're going to make me open it in a web browser?
mine doesn't have that.
Well, that's Streamlabs. That's the software I stream with.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Right, well, I pop out the chat and have the video separate, so that might cover that.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving right along, we got 7 minutes left. So as you can probably see, what we're really trying to do with this Saturday morning slot is really, just it's the time when the crew, well, I like to call it the crew, all the Discordians in the world can come together and talk about shit. I think we've got a good crew, but what really gets me is the fact that, I wouldn't have thought, just my simple Saturday morning hour live streams would get 3 times the viewership over the week as to the actual 1 hour slot in the day. It's strange, why do people come to the live streams after? So that's why I've been making a better effort to sort of keep some sort of spark of interest flowing, so, people come in for the fun side. That's why we want you coming in. This is me and Todd are always talking. I want to replace these moving screens here just to keep it like something happening on the screen. I want to replace that with people. And Todd wants the Brady Bunch screen so we can screen capture that. And you guys are just going to get out of your comfort zone and come and join us and have a chat with us. You don't want to hear me talking all the time. People want to hear you guys. Yes, don't get me started on abbreviations, Gypsy. Oh my God. It's hard enough to keep the actual words in your head. You know, when you
Oh, Kimbo's joined us finally.
oh, finally.
How long
Yeah.
has it been, little bro? We've only got 2 minutes to go.
You know you've been in
No.
Thailand too long when you know probably one every 5 words is a Thai word, right? Instead of the English word because you've forgotten what fucking English word to say.
Well, I'm confused. I'm watching the Thai. I'm also talking Japanese with Pat and English as well. So Pat's testing me today. Damn you. Damn you.
Yes, yes. Anyway, so how's your guitar going, Kimbo? We're going to get together and sort of do some jamming, or you have to give me a crash course. So I've got 30 years of catching up on bass guitar to do, and I've sat down in front of the YouTube videos, and this just seems like 2 hours of monotony, you know. Yeah, I need somebody to fast track me. I need a fast track course.
10 hours of practice to master something. Your brain needs the stimuli.
I'm just trying to find I get so sidetracked on everything. Oh my God. The only thing I seem to stay fixed on is playing games because I don't know. It sort of grabs you, you know, in such a way.
And you're already good at them. You kick my ass and so it's easy for you. Easy for you.
G'day, Mr. Kimbo. There he is.
Hello, everyone.
He's finally done it.
He's finally
Been a
got
while.
there. There we go.
Yeah.
I can stop that window. There we go. I can take mine off there, and now we can
Not,
keep.
not quite a Brady Bunch moment, but you know,
No.
anyway, an extra.
Listen, I always think that the single screen is too big. That's why that like half size is perfect. I actually did a layup where I could have 2, 3, or 4, and a layup overlay where you could just use the Discord in the background and put an overlay on top and look really fancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, the way Discord works between 2 or 3 and 4 people and things like that, it can get really screwed up very quickly if you're pressing all these buttons. So I steered clear of that one. I did a couple of test runs with Stephen many years ago, and it looked good, you know, with a nice little overlay backdrop and everything, just so that it, you know, kept the people at a size which was manageable. You've probably seen that sort of style of video in the what do you call it? What I call it, what's that word now? They use a special word for it, not blog space. You have to go back to my channel just to think of the word. Oh my God. Studio. Content there, that's right. Podcasts. Why couldn't I think of that word podcasts? This like I need a RAM upgrade. I'm sure certain words are just you know like I've got to fit this word in so like the the least used words just get purged from your memory. Oh my God! Does anybody else suffer from that? I don't know. I just have one of these. I just got that Johnny Mnemonic 160K base memory, and I need a memory upgrade. You don't remember that movie? It was quite good. I quite enjoyed that one.
Or you just have to empty the trash can, was.
Oh, the trash can. But thing is, like, that's where you file all the good stuff, isn't it? Seriously, no, I have to just say this. Like, how many times we've actually had to walk to somebody's desk, right, because they've lost that email because the system deleted their trash can.
Yeah.
It's a fucking trash can. And you look at their desk and you take their papers and you put it in the trash can. Is that where you file the receipts? No. Well, why do you file them in your trash can on your desktop, you fucking idiot? Jesus Christ. And then you have to go through and fucking mount up the fucking thing and pull their fucking... Seriously, one click took... One click, and it's a 45-minute job to get their fucking trash back. You wonder why you never got anything done. One person doing that once or twice a day, you go, fuck. Fidel, go and do that. Go and sort that shit out. But yeah, it's... don't get me started on trash cans.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are winding it up. So yes, I suppose anything else we can leave you closing thoughts. I am going to, the video I did this week, which will come out on Wednesday or Thursday for the regular people. I'm revisiting that fear factor again because I think we got some good comments on that. And it does get people, because people are now looking about getting back to the whole process of retirement and where they're going to live, and they've got choices, and they really want to look at Thailand versus Vietnam versus Malaysia. And I believe that the Malaysia, there was something come out this week regarding the elite visa. The comments were coming from outside sources saying all that the elite visa is going to produce is people choosing to go to Malaysia above Thailand because of this money grab. Right, so we'll have to see how it goes, because they've got a similar system for Malaysia, I believe, or something like that. There's something else that runs there as well. So you can, but I don't know enough about it, so I'm not even going to venture down that rabbit hole yet. Anyway, great having you guys along. I know you're a bit late there to the game. You need to get out of bed earlier. So we've got to find a time during the week so we can sit down for an hour and jam.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Get all the guitar shit. I got the amp there. I got the guitar there.
Well, he sent me a photo with the restoration shed where I had all my car stuff and everything. It's turned half into a bloody music studio now.
Well, what else do you do with a garage except build cars?
Yeah, well,
cars or music. That's the two things that the garage is good for. And sleeping,
big enough.
and sleeping when you're in the bad books. Anyway, enough of that. Great having you guys along. Where you going to? Well, I got the music. Where's the closing screen? I'm going to hit the button, and we're going to catch up with you next week. Give me a few minutes. I'm going up to Twitch, and we're going to play some games. So you can join us over there if you like. We'd definitely love to have you and continue on with the bullshit.
I've got to do it before you go, and give me 5 seconds.
Quickly go. Where's my Twitch channel? There's my Twitch channel.
There we are. I always put this up. If you don't know how to use Discord, check them out.
And that's where you can do the typing thing and chat on the Twitch thing. So we're going over there next. I just got to reset things and grab another coffee. I really do need another coffee. So 10 to 15 minutes probably. We'll see you over there. Closing screen, and we'll get out of your face. Closing screen. Bye for now. I need to update this too.